Hey guys, welcome to Read On with Sir Michael Rivera. I'm Sir Michael. The book that I'll be reviewing right now is Mirrors by Eduardo Galeano. It's actually a translation. Galeano is a Uruguayan journalist. You might have heard his name before. About a year ago, probably a little more, there was a meeting of the Americas, a summit of the Americas, where uh, Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez gave Obama a copy of a history on Latin America called The Open Veins of Latin America. And it was written by Galeano. So if you've heard his name, then that's probably where you heard his name from. Otherwise, I mean, when it comes to mass media, he's more or less obscure. Mirrors Stories of Almost Everyone is kind of like a history in brief, if you will. It's filled with hundreds, I think about 500 to 600 short stories and vignettes, each about under a page, where basically he tells the story of civilization and culture. He tells of the underbelly of civilization and culture, or what my professor at Ray College, Professor Helwink, would call the subversive side of history. The things that the history books generally don't talk about, things like torture, rape, genocide, racism, sexism, atrocious crimes against humanity, things like that. Every now and then, however, and this is what I really liked about this book, there would be a story that would demonstrate the brighter side of humanity. The tenderness, the beauty, positive things that people do from time to time. But for the most part, the overriding theme of this book is how much fucked up stuff we've done as a society since the very beginning of society. Things, for example, like, a lot of the philosophers that we study today in school, a lot of the Western, quote unquote, Western philosophers like Hegel, um, you know, um, Hume, Rousseau during the French Revolution. A lot of people don't know, but these were blatantly racist people. If you weren't white and European, you were next to shit. And even though, for all practical purposes, that was kind of the thinking of the time, they were really a product of the times. They really went above and beyond to exhibit their racism. I mean, just look up their quotes. Um, Actually, I'm not sure about Hume. I am not sure, but about Hegel and Rousseau, I'm quite sure they were blatant racists. You know, um, and a lot of the political decisions that we've made, a lot of the laws, are based on these Western philosophers. These racists. There's other stuff about, for example, the Berlin Conference following World War One. Germany lost the war, and they owed reparations to the rest of Europe. And at this time, what England and a few of the other France, a few of the other European nations, the Allied powers, what they essentially did is they took a map of Africa and they divided, it was the spoils of war. They divided the continent among, Britain will take all these countries, and if you look at the way they did it, they really did it with complete disregard for a lot of the tribes that lived in Africa at that time. I mean, they did it like you would play a game of chess or something. So, and he talks about these type of things. It's really mind-boggling, a lot of the fucked up stuff, as I just mentioned, that we've done. But I just wanted to focus on one of the better, more tender stories, and it's about Muhammad Ali. It's very short, so I just read it very quickly. He was butterfly and bee. In the ring he floated and stung. In 1967, Muhammad Ali, born Cassius Clay, refused to put on a uniform. Got nothing against no Viet Cong, he said. Ain't no Vietnamese ever called me nigger. They called him a traitor. They sentenced him to a 5 year jail term and barred him from boxing. They stripped him of his title as a champion of the world. The punishments became his trophy. By taking away his crown, they anointed him king. Very, very recommended read. Very good stuff. Don't forget, Michael Rivera. Read on with Sir Michael Rivera.wordpress.com. Check me out and keep staying tuned.